Turn kitchen scraps into organically rich soil with Polder's innovative kitchen countertop composter. With its simple-to-use, mess-free design, food scraps are temporarily stored on the kitchen counter in an elegant and sizable 1-gallon bin. Creating an environment for proper decomposition has never been easier. Simply rotate the lid and follow the indicator guide to gradually increase or decrease the air circulation. Ready to transfer to the larger outdoor composter? Grasp the wire rack with one hand while grabbing the tab on the bottom of the bin and push through to invert and empty the contents. When emptied, pull the bin back in and it's ready to be used again. The mess-free process keeps hands free from getting dirty or touching scraps. To clean, invert the empty bin and place under a running faucet to remove any excess particles. To clean the lid, simply twist counterclockwise to separate, then wash with soap and warm water as needed. For a deeper cleaning of the bin, simply unclip the silicone bucket from the wire frame, invert, and place on the top rack of the dishwasher. Easily turn food scraps and organic waste into rich compost with Polder's Kitchen Composter.
But what happens to all of those unused food scraps? Well, composting is a great way to recycle these scraps, and it's so good for the soil in your garden. Compost itself, however, is generally associated with bad smells and ugly trash. Well, at Chefin, we don't believe in ugly. With the new EcoCrock composting bin, doing what's good for outside will make the inside look good too. The compost bin has a white ceramic outer bucket that stays clean and stylish looking on your countertop. There's a cute sprout on the top of the lid to remind you that you're doing what's good for the environment, but the sprout also works as a handle. On the top of the lid, you'll notice vent holes. These holes encourage airflow, and they get these scraps to start to break down into that organic matter. On the bottom of the lid, you have a natural charcoal filter nested inside. The natural charcoal filter helps to absorb any odors that are trying to escape the bin. The filters are replaceable by simply removing this green strap and taking the filter out. The replacements are sold separately, and when you get them home, replacing the filter is as easy as setting it in the lid and replacing the green strap like so. On the inside of the ceramic bin, we have a green inner bin. This bin holds 3 quarts of material, so it's perfect for holding scraps throughout the week. At the end of the week, when the bin is full, simply lift with the stainless steel handle, and it's super easy to take outside and dump into my larger compost pile. When I get back in, I can clean the white bucket and the green inner bucket by simply rinsing or wiping down with warm water. And I start again. That's contemporary composting.
name is Steve Churchill, and I'm the owner of the Urban Worm Company. I want to thank you for your interest in the Urban Worm Bag on Amazon. I started the Urban Worm Company in 2014 to help new vermicomposters get off on the right foot with vermicomposting. In 2018, I launched the Urban Worm Bag, which is a flow-through, breathable system that allows you to feed your food waste and bedding through the top and collect worm castings out of the bottom. Now, I wanted to make sure that I gave you 5 simple rules to get off on the right start with your Urban Worm Bag, or honestly with any other worm bin that you're using. Number 1, I want you to know that you can always get in touch with me on Amazon through the messaging apps that they have on there. It's not going to be somebody overseas that answers your inquiries. It's going to be me, and I'm going to do it within 12 to 24 hours, maybe even sooner if I can. I want to make sure that you are getting the information you need to succeed with my product, because the last thing I want is for you to think that because things didn't work out with your product that you're either bad at vermicomposting or it doesn't work in general. That's something I really want to try to avoid. So number 2, assembling the Urban Worm Bag is really simple, but it's very important that you assemble it and you use it in a place that has a level surface, preferably someplace where you're not planning to move it. Because the Urban Worm Bag is a bag that's suspended from an iron frame, what happens on a pitched or uneven surface is that the frame can be tilted, yet the bag is always going to be pulling straight down. That makes for a lot of twisting force on the frame connectors, and we're going to try to avoid that. Number 3 is you want to make sure you start your bag with a whole lot of bedding. Okay, vermicomposting compared to composting has higher carbon to nitrogen ratio. Bedding is high in carbon, whereas your food waste is typically higher in nitrogen. You want to make sure that you start with a lot of bedding and that you continuously add bedding as you are adding your food waste. You don't have to do it every time, but you want to make sure that you keep a lot of bedding in there. So number 4 is you want to be very conservative with how much you are feeding your Urban Worm Bag, especially in the beginning. It's a very common mistake for people to overfeed their worm bins, and this leads to a lot of different problems. It leads to foul odors, and it leads to the bag being too wet because your food waste is very high in water content. And if you're adding a lot of food waste, especially without adding bedding to soak up that excess moisture, you end up getting leachate coming that pools at the bottom of your worm bin, and in the case of the Urban Worm Bag, can actually flow back up through the zippers at the bottom and foul up the zippers. I created version 2 of the Urban Worm Bag to protect against this problem, but if you are grossly overfeeding your bin and you're getting that leachate coming out of the bottom, there's still a chance that your zippers can get messed up. So let's make sure that doesn't happen too. And finally, we want to make sure that we are managing our moisture correctly. Now, we talked about this a little bit. If you are adding a lot of bedding and being conservative with the amount of food waste that you're adding, especially in the beginning before your worm bin is established, then your moisture should probably be pretty well under control. But if you are overfeeding, or you are not adding bedding, dry bedding especially, or you are pouring water into your worm bin, you are going to create really wet conditions, again, that are going to get stinky or are going to mess up the bottom of your bin. So manage the moisture, don't overfeed, add a lot of bedding, assemble it on a level surface, and again, you can always get in touch with me and I will answer your questions as quickly as I can. Thanks for considering the Urban Worm Bag, and good luck to you in your vermicomposting journey.